So I was looking at that simple CRUD demo that I uploaded, and I noticed that I had completely forgotten to include a add form, sort of the create of the CRUD. So I better add that in. I thought I might as well record myself doing it while I was at it. Um, and also it means that I can just talk about a couple of other things. So firstly, I wanted to just go over this layout thing again. So the layout.html, basically it's got all that boilerplate stuff that you want to have on every single page. If you you'll see it in another example that I'll put up later. I put all of the navigation and so on into this layout. In this case, it's just all the bootstrap links and anything else that I might want to do. I'll just hit play and show you what I mean by that. So for example, here's my index page for width. And if I go back into here, I might say I want that actually on every page to be inside a particular div that has got the class container. I think that might be a useful thing to do. Div class equals container. Take that / div and put it there. And now if I run it again, patient. So let's put it into a container. So if I have a look at the HTML here, HTML, thank you. You can see I've got all that boilerplate stuff that is in the layout, and then I've got my div class equals container, and then I've got this stuff, which was what was in this stuff, sorry, which was what was in the index.html, I think it is. Cool. So that's just clarified what that's about. We did do that in class. I thought it was worth just mentioning it again right now. So yeah, in terms of how I go about doing my work, I'm going to add another HTML template, HTML page called add user, which gives me this boilerplate, which I will immediately delete, and I will go to something which is relatively close to what I need, which is this update form. I know it's far from being what I actually want, but it's going to have a lot of the boilerplate stuff, so I don't have to do this extends layout thing again. Don't have to remember the exact format. It's just such a pain remembering the syntax of. I always seem to accidentally put space in here, for instance, and if I just copy and paste from somewhere else, I don't end up doing that. It's also a form, which is good. I don't have to remember the class, and etc. etc. Now it has got an action in there, so let's start getting rid of that kind of thing. The default action is it submits back to itself, so we'll do that in the route over there in a second. We're not going to have a user ID because we're creating, so when we do the SQL insert statement, it will automatically do an auto increment and create the user ID. Input name equals username. Yep, they want to do that, but we're not going to have a value already. This is really easy, isn't it? Because all of these are exactly the same. So username, last name, and first name is what the user is going to enter, and a submit button, and we're done. So that add user.html, bam, save. Now we don't have a route for that yet, so let's go and find the appropriate one. So sometimes this is just about the copying and pasting aspect. All of these have got pretty much what we want in that they have got some SQL is executed, and that's what we want to do. But only one of them has got getting values from a form and then committing them to the database. So this is the one that I'm actually going to use as my copy and paste. So Control C, and down here, I should turn my email off, shouldn't I? Is going to be /add user, and method equals get post, and it's going to be def add user. So now I'm in a position to do some work. So let's just think about what I want. These are things that I definitely want. Request.form, username, last name, and first name. Yeah, keep those. Won't need that. update my comment, just get values from forms, they haven't been updated, and perform update, connection equals create connection. Alright, I'll come back and sort this out in a second. But what this is also making me think, of course, is that I haven't actually rendered the form yet, have I? So I need to add in here if request dot method equals, is it lowercase or uppercase? I always get this wrong. If request.method equals post, so someone click the submit button, then we're going to do this little lot. So that lot can now be tabbed in. And I think it's quite a sensible idea to have this redirect at the bottom. And else return render template and that add user. Very straightforward. Add user.html. Yep. .html. Sweet. Bizarrely, we're almost already done. Perform insert. Keep my comments nicely updated. Create connection. Instead of update, it's going to be insert into. Insert into TBL users, and then I've got to set which fields it is. And I might as well just get the same ones in the same order, so I have to do the least amount of work, because the more I do, the more opportunity I have to make mistakes. So it's just username, first name, and last name. Oh, I haven't done password, have I? Have to come back to that in a second. Have we got passwords in here at the moment? Hang about. No, I don't even have passwords. Yeah, cool. That's fine. If we don't have passwords, we don't have to worry about passwords. So first name, username, last name, and then the syntax is values. Can I just gently point out as well that W3 Schools SQL, if you're not sure of the syntax, you can just hop straight into here and pop down into select, insert into, and you've got a great example right there. Insert into that table those values. Anyway, where were we? We were doing insert into, so a bit of room to work here. Values, and no, it's just going to be the percent s's. So those are the things that are going to be in our vals. So and keep my spacing nice and neat. Bracket, delete. That's easy. Username, first name, last name, and the vals. I'm no longer inserting a user ID. Sweet. There's always a chance that will work. And just while I'm here, I'm just going to hop into the layout as well, and I'm just going to add a little tweak down here, which is going to be I might as well just stick it into this one, do this up here. So ahref equals slash. Is that the right slash? Add user.html. Add user. Play. Waiting patiently. So I've got add user link. Aha, an error. Not found. So add user.html. Ah, the link it isn't add user.html, is it? It's just add user, which is then, and also I've got the speech marks on. Look at that. What a mess. Add user, which is that route there, no.html, because that, of course, renders the template add user.html. Noob. Patiently again. Cool. Add user. Sweet. So if I add, of course, I haven't exactly set the form up nicely. So I can't even remember what the order of the fields were. Mr. Boateng, submit. No, I thought it had a redirect on it at the end, but maybe not. That didn't work, did it? So let's just go back and check. It feels like it. It feels like it didn't submit the form, doesn't it? Because it hasn't run any of this. It didn't. None of this caused errors. So I'm wondering if maybe this should be that. One more time with feeling. Pretty common issue. I always get that wrong. I always get the case of that wrong for some reason. Let's just try this one more time. So Boa, Mr. Boateng, add user. No, I don't think that worked either. So I'm just going to pause this and work out. All right, I didn't change anything and it worked. Anyone able to explain that? It might have been that maybe I did change something, or perhaps I was fiddling around with the case of these as a quest.method equals posts. I think this should be capital post, capital there. Maybe this should be capital as well, capitalized. I'm not 100% sure that whether it passes that value. I don't think it does. I think that's just, that informs. Anyway, whatever, it works. So I've now got this, and I can hopefully add another user. How about this? I'm going to add Mr. Martin as well. Submit. Yeah, so it's working just fine. So I hope that you got something meaningful out of the process more than anything else. The copying and the pasting, and just trying to be efficient about not having to write everything from scratch because I've already got it somewhere and it already works. I hope that's helpful.